Hi guys, welcome back to the Jake Vlogs channel, and in today's video is a video that some of you guys have been requesting quite often, so I thought why not just make the video, and in today's video, as you can probably tell, I'm going to be ranking Premier League home fans. I just want to say that this is my opinion, and 1,000,000% everyone that watches this won't agree with what I say. I'm sure everyone has their own opinions, so this is just going to be my honest opinion. I'm not going to be biased whatsoever. I'm just going to give my actual opinion on Premier League home fans. If you are enjoying the content at the moment, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, on the road to 1k hopefully very shortly. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into ranking Premier League. So the tiers we have for this tier list, we have elite, class, good, average, and tin pot. So let's get straight into it with Brighton and Hove Albion. I have been to most Premier League grounds. I haven't been to Turf Moor, Carrow Road, which of course Norwich are now relegated, and I haven't been to Sheffield United, of course, Bramall Lane. So yeah, the rest I've all been to. So Brighton and Hove Albion, not really the best of atmospheres there, to be honest. I don't want to spend too long speaking about each club. So Brighton, for me, it's not tin pot, but they aren't that good. So for me, they're going to go in average. Crystal Palace, I don't think they're amazing. Obviously they have, they have that one section behind the goal, but to be fair, I think Crystal Palace home fans are quite overrated. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they're definitely above average, but I wouldn't say they're class. So for me, Crystal Palace, for me, going in good. Southampton, I've been there, 4, 5, 6 times, and their fans, you can only hear them when they score, which unfortunately when we play Spurs is quite often, but apart from that, their fans really aren't the best. So for me, I don't know, for me, I'm going to be generous, I'm going to put them in average. Moving on to Liverpool. Obviously, if this was based on European home atmospheres, then Liverpool 1,000,000% elite. But in the Premier League, for me, I'm gonna put them in good. Because I don't like them. Yeah, as I said, on European nights, their fans are unbelievable. Anfield is an absolute fortress. They barely lose at Anfield. But for me, in the Premier League, they're good. You can still hear them most games, but they're not class or any in the Premier League at Anfield. So for me, they are good. Manchester City, I don't think they're terrible. I know loads of people say, oh, they've got no fans. Well, of course they do have fans, and they say how they're all plastics, etc. You know what? I don't mind Man City fans. I think they're decent. So for me, it's either average or good. Or I don't know, to be fair. When we played them in the Champions League, their fans were pretty good. So you know what? I'm actually going to put Man City in good. I think that could surprise quite a few of you. Moving on to Norwich City. Once again, this is one of those stadiums that I have not been to. So this is just my opinion based on watching games on TV. Of course, they are now relegated as well. For me, it just seems a bit average. So not much more to say. Norwich City putting in average. When they do win, the atmosphere at Carrow Road is decent, but for me, not good enough to put in good or any of the above. So for me, Norwich City going in average. West Ham United. Now, I think their fans are pretty good. Their stadium doesn't help them. The fans being 4 miles away from the pitch, it doesn't really help. Average or good for me. I'm gonna put them in average because I feel like they do I feel like they can, what's the word? They can turn on their team, that's the one. They can turn on their team when they're not performing, which of course isn't the best. So for me, West Ham, they're going to go in average. Moving on to Villa, for me, their home fans are very, very good. Is it elite status? I'm not too sure. For me, I'll put Aston Villa in class. Very, very good. But there are some teams in this list that are just slightly better. But yeah, for me, Aston Villa, quality home fans for me. Moving on to Everton, of course, they play at Goodison Park, a stadium that I actually really, really do like. Fans-wise, I don't think they're the best, to be fair. Nice, in my opinion, nice stadium, but not really the best fans for me. So I'm actually going to put them... I'm going to put them in average for me. Moving on to Manchester United. Once again, just like Aston Villa, in my opinion, really, really good home support. I wouldn't say it's good enough to put in elite, but in my opinion, it is going to join Aston Villa in the class tier. And talking about not being good enough for elite, this team's fans definitely is. Sheffield United. I would not like to play as an opposition player at Bramall Lane with their fans. So for me, Sheffield United are going straight up there in elite. For me, their fans are unbelievable home and away. So yeah, for me, Sheffield United, really impressive. Of course, they've had a brilliant season. It is a bit unfortunate for them that they haven't had their fans, of course, for the last month or so. But they still seem to be doing pretty well. Of course, beat my team Spurs the other week. So yeah, for me, Sheffield United have to be elite. Let me know if you disagree. Moving on to Burnley, haven't been to Burnley, and to be honest, I don't really want to. For me, their fans are non-existent, really. So for me, I'm going to have to put them in tin pot for Burnley. Do apologise for any Burnley fans. Moving on to Chelsea. Once again, I wouldn't say they're on the level of class. Like, I don't think they're as good as Villa Park and Old Trafford, etc. So for me, definitely not average. So yeah, for me, Chelsea, I'm going to put in good. AFC Bournemouth. Not much more to say. Tin pot. I mean, do they even have fans? Their fans are the worst in the league, without a doubt. I'm saying it right now. Their fans are absolutely terrible. So for me, yeah, Bournemouth, tin pot, and yeah, you know what? I'm just not gonna say anything else. For me, Bournemouth, tin pot. Okay, moving on to Arsenal. I'm not gonna be biased, but their home fans really, really aren't great. On Derby Day against like us and against like Man U, etc., their fans, don't get me wrong, when they're winning against like us and like in the big games, yes, like their fans do make a lot of noise, but for the majority of their games at the Emirates, for me, not good enough. Not good enough for, let's be real, they are a big club. So for me, Arsenal, they don't have the fans to match their expectations. So for me, Arsenal, I'm not being biased. For me, I'm going to put Arsenal in average. Moving on to Leicester City, I don't think their fans are too good either. So for me, pretty self-explanatory for me. I'm just going to put them in average. I don't think they're that good, but I don't think they're terrible. Moving on to Watford. Now, Watford's a tough one. It's pretty local to me. But Watford, they don't have the best fans. I mean, they have that one stand behind the goal, but for me, I sat in the Watford end when Spurs played them in the 0-0 draw earlier on in the year, and for me, their fans just they barely sang or sung, sorry, and they literally only have like one or two chants. So for me, it's not brilliant, average or tin pot for me. Definitely not good. You know what? I'm gonna put Watford in tin pot with Bournemouth and Burnley. I just don't think that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have had some good results, like of course when they beat Liverpool 3-0, but even then their fans weren't unbelievable. So for me, maybe I'm a little bit too harsh in this tier list, but for me, tin pot for the Watford boys. Newcastle United. For me, yes, of course they are very, very good. I wouldn't necessarily call them elite. So you know what, I'm gonna put them in class. They do make a lot of noise when they, of course, I've been there once, and yes, we did lose 5-1 there. But no, their fans are pretty good, and of course Spurs are playing them when I'm filming this. We're playing them tomorrow, so then let's hope we can actually get the 3 points. But fans-wise, yeah, for me, class for Newcastle United. Moving on to my team, Spurs. Now, in my opinion, our home fans, okay, they're not the best, but they are better than Arsenal. I don't care what anyone says. So for me, I'm going to put them one above Arsenal. I'm going to put them in good. I'm sorry that you can't really see the Spurs badge there. But I am going to put them in good. We are better than Arsenal. Not by much, yes, I know. Our fans on a regular home game against like Brighton, Southampton, Norwich, etc. I know they aren't the best, but when we play the big teams, like rivalries, but like Arsenal, Chelsea, etc., our fans are amazing. Champions League nights, our atmosphere is unreal. But for me, it's not as good as like Man U, Villa, etc. So yeah, for me, I'm going to put them in good. Moving on to the final team in this tier list, Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I went there when Jan Vertonghen headed one home. We got the 2-1 win. And honestly, that was the day I was very close to being deaf. Honestly, Molineux is wow. I mean, just wow, really. The atmosphere is absolutely unreal. They celebrate a corner, even a throw-in, as if they've just scored a goal. Their fans are unbelievable, and their performances definitely match that. They're playing really, really good football as well. So yeah, Wolves are joining Sheffield United in Elite. So there we go. Take a look at my tier list. As I said, I know a lot of you will probably disagree, but for me, this is my tier list. Let me know in the comment section down below. But for me, Burnley, Watford, Bournemouth, tin pot. In my opinion, I know if you're an Arsenal fan, you're probably going to disagree. But for me, Spurs home fans are better than Arsenal home fans. And there are no fans better than the Blades and Wolverhampton Wanderers. So yeah, there we go. Let me know in the comment section down below how you would change this, etc. What fans are the best in the league? For me, it is Wolves. Their fans are unbelievable. I couldn't hear myself think when I went there. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more tier lists, maybe I can do away fans soon. So let me know in the comment section down below. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.